taking the political compass test as a business instead of politically. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Strongly disagree. I'd always support my country whether it was right or wrong. Strongly agree. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Strongly disagree. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. Strongly agree. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Strongly agree. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Strongly agree. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. Strongly disagree. Absolutely not. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. Strongly disagree. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Strongly disagree. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. Strongly disagree. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. The freer the market, the freer the people. These are kind of obviously business related. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled branded consumer product. Strongly disagree. Land should not be a commodity to be bought and sold. Strongly disagree. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Strongly disagree. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Strongly disagree. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. Strongly agree. The rich are too highly taxed. Strongly agree. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Strongly agree. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Strongly disagree. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. Strongly disagree. Abortion when the woman's life is not threatened should always be illegal. Strongly agree. All authority should be questioned. Strongly agree. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Strongly agree. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. Strongly agree. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. Agree, I believe. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Strongly agree. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Strongly agree. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. Strongly agree. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. Strongly disagree. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. Strongly disagree. There are no savage and civilized people, there are only different cultures. Strongly agree. Those with the ability to work and refusing the opportunity should not expect society's support. Strongly agree. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. Strongly agree. First-generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. Strongly disagree. I think even a business would say immigrants can be fully integrated into the society. What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. Strongly agree. No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. Strongly agree. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed. They would agree. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. Strongly disagree. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. Strongly disagree. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Strongly agree. It is a waste of time to rehabilitate some criminals. Strongly agree. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. Strongly agree. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. Agree? Almost all politicians promise economic growth, but we should heed the warning of climate science that growth is detrimental to our efforts to curb global warming. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Astrology actually explains many things. You cannot be moral without being religious. Strongly agree. Charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. Strongly agree. Some people are naturally unlucky. Strongly disagree. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. Sex outside of marriage is usually immoral. Strongly agree. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship and should not be excluded from the possibilities of child adoption. Strongly disagree. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. Strongly agree. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of people. Strongly agree. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Strongly agree. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Strongly disagree. Now, let's see, where does a business stand on the political compass test? So, all the way to the right and central.